Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Divine Truth Tarot. We're going to be doing a quick check-in today with the divine feminine, divine masculine, twin flame energies. So tune in for that. I have not pulled the cards already, so we'll be pulling them as we go today. If you would like a personal reading with me, I offer twin flame readings, true purpose readings, and just regular tarot card readings. You can reach out to me at the email below in the description box. I also offer distant Reiki healing sessions. I'm a Reiki 2 energy healer, and I have been for 7 years. And I also offer true purpose coaching sessions. I've been coaching corporations for 6 years and coaching individuals for over 3. So those are my services, and I can tell you all about them when you send an email. And I've had a few people ask very, very lovingly and supportingly, is that a word? Supportingly, about my Amazon wish list. It's in the description box below if you ever feel like you want to gift the channel and this community with anything. It's all just tarot cards, nothing else. It's tarot card decks that I would like that are on my wish list. I've had a few amazing clients and viewers already send me decks, so thank you so much. And I'm actually using the Psychic Tarot, which was sent by Jennifer, so I've been using that in almost every reading. I'm in love with it. So that's it. And if you're new, please have a look around, subscribe to the channel, make sure you subscribe to receive all notifications, so when I post a new video or I go live, you'll see that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so let's get started. As you guys know, if you've been following my channel, I always like to start my readings off with a How to Love Yourself card by Louise Hay. And now Spirit is actually just telling me that I need to pull one. They said, that's not very nice. I actually got the message come through just now. That's not very nice. You pulled a card for the feminines and not for the masculines. Spirit has been really cheeky lately. Really cheeky. I was having a conversation with one of my beloved DF friends. I have an amazing circle of divine feminine friends last night, and I don't even remember. When I channel, I don't remember what comes through. So when I do personal readings, if somebody reminds me of something that was said, we can look it up in the cards, right? We can do some sort of a clarifier, but I don't usually remember what I said because I'm channeling information at the time. So I said something. I don't know if I should say it. Okay, I'm going to be PC because it's YouTube, but I said it's like the divine masculines are standing there with their you-know-what in their hands. And she just started laughing. And I said, that's just spirit. It's like, because we were talking about how the divine masculines are resistant to change. We love our divine masculines. I love and adore my divine masculine. It's just that you get frustrated on the 3D with the timing of things, and you get frustrated with waiting for a change, waiting for them to come forward, waiting to see the shift. So we just needed to laugh, and we needed to wait the moment. Okay. Love our divine masculines, though. We love you guys. I promise. We love you. So, but get your dick out of your hands. Okay. And also because of the sexual energy that's been coming through. The sexual energy has been insane. I had an experience. Okay, I'll tell you guys about the experience after we go over these cards. This was really amazing. An experience that I had last night that I wanted to share. So for the feminines, how to love yourself. I am gentle, kind, and comforting to my inner child as we uncover and release the old negative messages from family and society. Bam. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of cards today for the feminine indicating inner child healing. I am not restricted by limited beliefs. Now, these are your limited beliefs, society's limited beliefs, your family's, your culture, your religion, etc., etc. So that's the message for the feminine. And for the masculines, we have, I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. I see myself healthy, whole, and living in a society where it is safe for me to be who I am and to love others. This is quite beautiful for the masculines because this to me is telling us that they're finding themselves and they're starting to come into their own power. And they're starting to I just heard they want to reemerge in society as a new man. And they actually can't wait to show their divine feminines because the divine feminine's over here twiddling her thumbs, and divine masculine, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So we're going to start with the native spirit cards today. Spirit is saying we're going to start with the native spirit cards. I love these because there's a lot of Native American imagery, and both myself and my twin are Native American Cherokee. And I know a lot of my viewers are as well, and my clients. So that's quite beautiful. So while I'm shuffling these cards and while we're choosing these cards, let me tell you about what happened. So yesterday I was able to actually do a little bit of exercise, which has been challenging with extreme fatigue that's going on with these ascension symptoms and these light code activations. So for those of you who don't know, we're moving into a crystalline DNA. And so all of these activations, we've had third eye, we've had the migraines, we've had crown chakra activations, tingling in the skull. Now we've moved into sacral chakra. Sacral chakra, where you're having cramps, it feels like you have a UTI, lower back pain, hamstring pain. And when I did a video on that and I talked about those symptoms, so many of you echoed back that you were experiencing the same thing. Well, I still have those symptoms, and they're quite uncomfortable, actually. It's not fun. And so I'm wondering, how you guys are going with that. So let me know in the comments below. But something amazing that happened was I was able to do I have a rebounder, which is amazing for your lymphatic system, your circulatory system, your brain, your mind, etc. So I try to rebound at least 5 times a week, sometimes every day. And then I was able to do a little bit of stretching. So I was able to do an online yoga class. And I started to feel during Shavasana, which is, for those of you not familiar, it's the last pose in your yoga class. And it's basically where you lie down on the ground and you just receive and surrender. So I've been in a lot of masculine energy recently, as I feel my twin has started to balance out his feminine energies. And so as that has happened, I've been creating and going and, action oriented. So this allowed me to be in my feminine receiving mode. And what I experienced was, I can only describe it as a merging of our energies. It was as if his energy came and laid on top of mine, but not in a sexual way, in a very sensual, loving way. So the sexual energies were still very much present, and they have been present for about a week for me now. But in addition to that, there was just this loving, calm, beautiful, flowing energy between us. And, when you meet your twin in the physical, you have Kundalini activation, the Kundalini rising. But I feel like I don't know if this was Kundalini energies or activation. I just know that it felt like, and it carried throughout the day into the night, where it just felt like he was doing everything with me. So when I, was watching a movie, he was watching it. When I was eating dinner, he was eating it with me. It was as if we were one. And I've never experienced that before. So I'm curious if anyone else has ever experienced that. And as I'm talking about it, I feel as if I'm going into a trance-like state, like just a hypnotic, a very calm, relaxing, beautiful place where there's no worries and there's no ego. It allowed me to get totally out of my ego and really into my heart. So I do think there's a lot of, in addition to the sacral chakra, I do think there's a lot of heart chakra activations. And as that's going on, those can be, it can feel like you have, there's an expansion happening in your heart. It can also feel like you might feel some pains. Again, as a disclaimer, as always, if you think this is medical related, please see a doctor. We're speaking of ascension symptoms here, which are different from physical symptoms, even though it feels physical, different origin. So I just want to make that really clear for anybody. So, but this was quite the experience. And, so I was telling another divine feminine about it, and she was just floored. And the funny thing is, it's not like I called him in. I wasn't trying to talk to him. I was just kind of doing my thing, and there he was. And of course, in the 3D, the 3D is reflecting something very different. We're not really speaking right now. And so, most twins are in separation in some form. So, your mind it can be a mind fuck, because you go, well, I'm not seeing that in 3D, but that's what I'm feeling. So Spirit's really asking us to tune into our hearts at this time, because a lot of doubt and fear are arising. Okay? So let's get into the native spirit cards for the feminine and masculine. For the feminine, we have storyteller. And I love this. This speaks to, I always, as we have the campfire here, I think back to times when we actually gathered around with our families, our friends, our ancestors, our community members, and we told stories to each other. So this to me speaks of going out in nature and, of course, being by a body of water, which isn't really possible right now unless you have a lake or something or a river near your home. But, you know, public beaches are closed in most places, if not everywhere. But we can go here in our minds is what Spirit is saying. So this is a place where you can go in your mind, where you can start to connect back to those ancient times. And I just want to see what the book says. It talks about making the most out of every experience and choosing the meaning. Wow, it's a flying card. A lot of energy in the card. Choosing the meaning that you give events. Find interpretations that empower you rather than diminish you. Be the storyteller and the hero of your own life. Give your personal story empowering meanings. So this is all about the personal story. What personal story are you creating right now? So what you can do as an exercise, that's why I love this book, is you can take an event in your life that gave you a disempowering meaning and find a way to re-script it or rewrite it so that the interpretation of the same story is one in which you are the hero. Don't live life according to the needs and expectation of others. Don't be a player in their story. So it's all about writing your own story, Divine Feminines. And I feel for a lot of you, this is talking about inner child wounds, like we got in the How to Love Yourself card. So really clearing up, healing, and excavating those inner child wounds so that you're able to really move into a place of empowerment as an adult. For the masculines, we have Song of the Wild. I love this card. I love this card because it's beautiful, as are all of these cards. I really only choose beautiful cards because I'm very much a visual person and a visual learner. But we have the rainbow and the sun coming out. So this reminds me of the sun card in the original tarot deck and the major arcana. But we have here nature. We have here, even though there's not a masculine in the picture, but what I see in my mind's eye, because so I'm given images in my mind's eye. That's how I'm able to channel a lot of the time. I see a masculine who's actually standing here in this meadow and he's singing a song. He's singing the song. So while the feminine is writing, you know, both creative aspects here, the feminine is writing sacral chakra, creativity, the masculine is singing. And I really feel like he's listening to music right now to heal. He's listening to music to take him back to the times and experiences he shared with the feminine. He's really thinking of her fondly. Again, regardless of what's going on in the 3D, we're talking about 5D energies here because the 3D, we really need to learn as twin flames to shut down the ego. You know, you can say cancel, delete that thought and create a new thought, but we really need to learn that what's going on in the 3D is a reflection of our fears and not our desires most of the time, until you get to a certain level of understanding of the twin flame process and a certain level of ascension, which of course requires time and alignment, you know, getting into alignment with your twin flame. As I've spoken about, it's less about timing and more about inner alignment. So that's why a lot of the work that I do in the readings and the coaching sessions I do are going to involve you. This is your journey towards inner union, merging your inner feminine and inner masculine energies, and then the physical version, right, of that inner union, which is your twin flame and the physical, can come in and can come in really easily. So let's take just a quick look in case I'm missing anything. Where is it? Ooh. Well, this is like the sun card, because this is talking about new beginnings, new horizons, and taking risks. So the masculine, he wants to answer the call of the wild, and he's taking steps towards the direction of his freedom. He's expanding beyond limitations and boundaries, and he wants to take a journey or a trip and get out of his comfort zone. He's really pushing himself beyond his boundaries here and stepping out of character. I'm so glad I checked the book. So that is really, really positive and inspiring, Divine Masculine. This is really beautiful to see for the Divine Masculine. I love that he's getting himself out of his comfort zone. He's starting to really crave and desire that freedom, especially if he's been stuck inside with a karmic partner that's unfulfilling. And I'm just laughing because it's unfulfilling, and there comes a time where you can no longer push down your true desires and your true self, who you truly are. And divine feminine, you can probably remember back when, let me see if I can get this just a little closer. You can probably remember back when, oh gosh, sorry guys. I didn't want to show you my forearm there. You can probably remember back when you were starting your ascension process, you know, and you started to leave behind, leave behind karmic partners, or leave behind, you know, heal limiting beliefs and inner child wounds. Well, that's what the masculine's going through right now. And it really is creating this intense desire for him to break free. He's tired of his own shit. Like, he's tired of his own limitations and boundaries. He's tired of the stories that he's told himself about life and love and happiness. Spirit Keeper of the North. This is for the union energies, for the connection. Spirit Keeper of the North. So let's take a look. I see a lot of, before we even look at the book, I see a lot of moon energy here. The moon card in the traditional tarot. I see winter energies. So I do feel like there's going to be massive shifts happening in the winter time. You guys do know that 2020 is a year of massive change and breakthrough, not only for the economy and for, you know, businesses. There's going to be changes in Hollywood. Lots of truths are going to come to light. There's going to be changes with the way, with banking and money and the way that we do things, work and career, working from home and actually having fulfilling careers, living wages. You know, all of these things are being posed and created and brought to light right now. Fairness and equality, gardening, you know, creating, making your own food at home and gardening, you know, community gardens, and all of these things are going to start to, communal living, I also heard. So all these things are going to start to come to light. So I feel like this is the secrets coming to light. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of cleaning up and clearing up. This is just intuitively what Spirit is telling me right now. There's going to be a lot of, you know, as the masculine desires this freedom, the feminine's over here busy writing her story. La, 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 I'm writing my story. And that could be an actual physical writing your story, creating a YouTube channel yourself, whatever that might be for you, of, you know, creation, some sort of creation and getting your story out there. The masculine's busy really tending to his freedom. And as that's happening in the union energy, we have momentum building. But I feel like it's going to actually reach a crescendo. I think that's the right word. It's going to reach intensity in the wintertime. Okay, so the masculine needs time to really, he's craving the freedom now, but he can't really do much about it at this time physically, but he's thinking about it and he's planning. It's like the planning behind the scenes. And it's like the calm before the storm. There's going to be a time where he emerges from this cave, and it's going to be in wintertime, I feel. And a lot of unions are happening this year. And of course, I've spoken about it into 2022 and 2023. Other readers have said into 2020 to 2024, guided by angels. Liz talks about, you know, those being very, very important years. I tend to feel 2022 to 2023. But again, we're both saying the same thing. We're both saying that unions are going to start to happen, and actually mass unions will happen, because what happens is, as we put energy into the collective of twin flames, and you don't just desire your own union, but you start desiring the union for all twin flames, right? So that means no jealousy, no, well, why did they go into union, and why are they in communication, and why this, why not me? But instead, you know, not letting the ego take control, which can be a lot harder than it sounds, of course, putting that into action, implementing it. But what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen the energy behind these unions. We're going to, and they're just really going to come barreling down. I mean, I just see them barreling down. You can imagine a line where you have the divine feminine on one side, divine masculine on the other, and you know, you're apart from your counterpart, kind of like at a dance, you know, in the 40s or 50s, how you see that in movies. And so you're going to be, it's not like you're choosing your counterpart. You already know your counterpart. There's no choice here. You don't get a choice in this. It just is. It's, you know, anyone who's a true twin flame knows it just is. You meet them, your eyes connect and locked, and that's it. It's like an imprint, like in the Twilight series. So you're going to be paired up with your twin flame, and you're just going to see the unions. This is on the 5D. They're just going to start happening. And then others will have to wait a little bit longer as you sort your 3D shit out, okay? As we sort our 3D stuff out. And I'm trying to bring a little humor into this reading because the energies have been so heavy that I wanted just to lighten it up a little bit for you guys and make you laugh and make you giggle. And I hope that that's helping, because it definitely helped myself and my beautiful friend last night. So that's what I see happening but there's going to be forward momentum happening in the wintertime. Mass unions happening in the wintertime. So let's put this here because this is union energies. And let's take a look at the book. That is not the right book. Okay, so Spirit Keeper of the North. Yeah, this is actually, it talks about really shadow work also. You know, the moon, shadow work, intuition, and illuminating anything that's hidden. But it also talks about knowing that the answers are within you, and forgiveness work. So I feel like this is telling us this is what we can do now. We can work on forgiveness. We can meditate. We can go within. We can repair relationships and work on forgiveness. Divine Feminine, this is aimed at you. Work on forgiveness of your masculine, because I know the masculine has hurt you, and sometimes you feel it's intentional. Sometimes you feel it's not. Their 3D self knows not what they do most of the time. They're running on a program. We have spoken about this in depth. So we just want to be careful with the meaning that we assess, you know, with the 3D. I wanted to pull another card. I was guided to pull another card, and I got Warrior of the Heart, Polar Bear. So we've got these winter energies here for union. Very interesting. So these both speak of hibernation, but I don't think that's what's going to happen in the winter. I feel like Spirit is saying leading up to the winter, this is what we're experiencing. You know, the hibernation of the world. It's reflecting what's going on in the world right now, not what's going to happen in the winter. But timing-wise, I do feel like, and you guys know I don't speak specifically about timing, but timing-wise, I do feel like winter is going to be significant for some of these unions. So, and it just might mean coming back into some sort of reunion with your twin. So let's take a look. Yeah, this is really just speaks of the light. So another card speaking of the light and knowing your own truth. So I don't even need the book. This to me speaks about going within and seeking the truth, seeking one's own personal truth, instead of having to go out into the world and seek the truth. And what do you think? What do you think? You know, the masculine, we talk about the feminine doing that, but the masculine's done that for years, you know, people pleasing and making sure that everyone around him is happy, but at the expense of his own happiness, at the expense of his own soul growth. And because when you don't follow your heart, okay, when you don't follow your heart, when you throw yourself off balance to such a degree that you can create dis-ease in the body, can create physical manifestation of illness when you're not following the pull, the magnetization towards what your soul came here to do. And that's what I feel like the masculines are doing a lot of right now, is they're starting to go within. They're starting to really find out, you know, what's in my heart? What does my heart want? What does my heart say? Not the mind, not the logic, because divine masculines, of course, are connected to the 3D, while the feminines are more connected to the 5D. This is just energy. So when the masculine balances himself out and he balances out his feminine energy, guess what? He's more connected to the 5D. When the feminine balances out her masculine energies, guess what? She's more connected to the physical 3D, and she can build and create. So we've got solar plexus coming up here. I've moved on to the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland. So solar plexus, speaking of self-worth. So we're talking about self-worth here for both counterparts. Just the need to focus on oneself, you know, the need to focus on how do you give to yourself? How do you fill up your own cup? How do I radiate my own sun? How do I create that illumination and luminosity that I often seek from others? How can I create that in my own life, in my own manner, in my own way, for myself? You know, not through social media, not through any sort of achievements, but what really makes me feel good about myself? Is it serving? Is it giving back in some way? Is it working with animals, children, the elderly? Is it taking care of a family member? Is it being there for my friends? Is it how do I take back my personal power? Is it setting healthy boundaries for myself, even in my relationship with my twin flame, and especially with my relationship with my twin flame, because they're our mirror and they're here to teach us all the ways in which we're not really... They're here to teach us about unconditional love, but unconditional love doesn't mean not having boundaries. So solar plexus chakra work really involves setting those boundaries and having, well, interesting cards. Okay, setting those boundaries and having proper, like drawing the line in the sand is what I'm hearing. This is what I'll tolerate, this is what I won't, even within my divine connection. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm going to actually look at these two first. So we've got triumphant success and spiritual union. So this is the union card. So let's take a look at this. This is the Lover's card. This is the union card. This actually isn't the Lover's card in this deck, but this, to me, this is like the Two of Cups. Sorry, the Two of Cups. And so you've got this spiritual union, and this is Spirit saying there will be triumphant success. This card has come up recently, and I spoke about it being, it's like the divine masculines rising up from the embers, from the ashes, like the phoenix rising, saying, I'm coming, divine feminine. He's letting you know, you might not see me in the 3D, you might not see me fully, but look, here's my sword, I'm coming. I will be triumphant, and I will be moving towards you. And because it's a 1, it's new beginnings, it's a fresh start. And then we have the 2, of course, that follows the 1. We have union. So he's saying he wants, he wants to rush in for this 2 of Cups with his divine feminine. And I did get deception and envy, and I'm going to pull a clarifier card for this from another deck, from the Quantum Oracle. But I do feel like, this is about the divine masculine wearing a mask and stepping away from that deception and envy. And he's really recognizing and realizing, I have worn this mask. And I'm not proud. He's not proud of this, because all his life, if he's in a marriage or a partnership, or there's some sort of family or cultural, community, religious, any of those groups that he's been a part of, he's realizing that he hasn't been able to portray his true self. He hasn't been able to be silly. He hasn't been able to be passionate in the ways in which his heart really, truly desires. Okay, so as a clarifier, this actually flew out from the Oracle, Quantum Oracle. We have intuition and manifestation. So what this tells me is the divine masculine is starting to realize that he wants this spiritual union, that's what he wants. That's what he most desires. That's what his soul desires. That's what his heart craves. Worry of the heart. This is what he wants. This is his heart speaking, not his mind, his ego. But he knows he's deceived his feminine. And I do feel like there's some envy. He feels some envy for the feminine's freedom. And he wants some of that freedom as well. So he's working towards that. Well, he doesn't realize that he can give it to himself at any time. And then you have intuition and manifestation. So this tells me that he's fully aware that he has deceived his feminine and deceived himself in wearing this mask and pretending like he didn't care, pretending like he was okay without you, telling you, you can find someone else, it won't bother me, I'll be happy for you, and whatever, do your thing, it doesn't matter, you're just a friend, in any of these ways that he might have deceived himself or deceived his feminine. Yeah, it's not a proud man there. He or she is not proud of having deceived his feminine or her feminine. You guys know that I just use him or her, but it's interchangeable. It's just the way that I read, but it's just energies. And so you can obviously be a female divine masculine and a male divine feminine. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have here obstacles and challenges and the waiting game. So let's read those two together. Spirit says read those two together. So obstacles and challenges, which of course is it's like the highlight reel of the twin flame journey, facing obstacles and challenges. And I do feel like some of you feel like it's broken, and some of you are feeling right now like this is the end of the road, like this is the end, I can't go any further. if I go any further, I'm just going to get burned. You know, I'm going to drown. I see some water, I think, down there on, you know, wherever this is leading towards. It looks like water to me. And just feeling like I don't know if I have anything left. Like it feels broken to me. My connection feels broken, and I'm so hurt and in pain, and my heart hurts, and I don't know if I have the will to carry on, is what I'm hearing. I just don't know if I have the will. And Spirit is saying it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game while your partner grows and sprouts. There's the roots sprouting up, and it can feel like you're walking a labyrinth. It can feel like you're walking in circles, and you're just walking and, you know, seeing the same result over and over and over again. But Spirit wants to let you know that your divine counterpart is going to choose wisely. You know, this can be, here we have the two birds flying together. This can be perceived as kind of like a 2 of cups here, or the lovers. You'll see that a lot in the lovers card. And this card has been coming up over and over, and so is this card, over and over, no matter how many times I shuffle. And this is just so you know, this is a big deck. It's a big deck. So these cards are coming out for a reason. So we're facing obstacles and challenges right now in all of these relationships. There's some sort of separation from many, and your counterpart is growing, and it is going to be a waiting game depending on, you know, what do you decide to do with that time? It's really up to you. What will I do with that time that I have? This time that I've been given to work on myself. So this is also Spirit not only saying that your counterpart is going to choose wisely and to have faith and trust him, because look at all these choices. This is his mind going over and over and over. But remember, he's stepping into the warrior of the heart. But I also feel like this is Spirit saying to you, choose wisely. This time that you've been given for yourself, how are you going to choose? Are you going to choose wisely? Or are you going to just continue spinning and going around in circles and staying in that pining energy that it can be so prevalent on this journey when you're just so sad and you miss your counterpart and you're literally pining away for them, can actually repel them and can repel them coming back in. So we really need to work on raising our vibration, because we want to be the vibrational match for what we desire. So we wouldn't want our counterpart pining, you know, after us. We would want him to be strong, him or her to be strong. So keep that in mind, feminines. So then we have the rejoice and celebration card. So I do see this as victory. You know, after the waiting game is over, there's a victory that is going to happen. There's a victory coming into fruition. Tell me more about celebration. And that's going to be really felt in the heart space. We have 3 cards here that have the green border, which indicate, you know, heart chakra energy, heart chakra healing. So I really feel like there is a lot of longing. There's a lot of emotional energy right now. Prosperity begins. So this couldn't be more clear. So we have, let's do it this way, a 1 card, beginnings, of course, and a 3 card. This is about planting the seeds. This is about in the actual physical world with the red border, root chakra. And then we have, you know, it's going to be seen and felt in the physical, and then the heart is going to follow. It's almost like you're going to see it and go, yeah, but I mean, I want proof. And your partner's here saying, but I'm there for you. We're going to do this together. You know, there's 2 hands here, one on top of the other. We're partners in this. And then you're going to feel it. So you're going to see it in the physical, and then you're going to feel it in the heart space. So let's actually, I'm just going to pull a few more cards because we're already on 33 minutes, guys. So I'm going to pull a few more cards. Let me know how you guys are feeling, what's coming up for you. The vast universe, we're being protected. Yes, we're experiencing massive changes right now, universally, cosmically, globally, and we are being protected. That to me always speaks of Spirit. Spirit is very much present right now and overlooking these connections. So 1 more card, please, for us to finish out the reading. 1 more card. Do you have advice for the feminine, Spirit? Can we have some advice for the feminines? Advice for the feminines. Beware of hidden motivations. So I feel like this can be actually a feminine putting on a mask, you know, for the world, and then really desiring this family with her counterpart. So this is kind of like, this is another moon card. You know, I see the moon there and the distance and the stars and the night sky. So this, again, this speaks to me of the moon card. So let's just get a clarifier. Can you clarify hidden motivations for advice for the feminines, please? And this can also just be saying beware of hidden motivations from people in your life. So yeah, and this is Spirit saying that regardless of what you're seeing on the 3D, regardless of the way, you know, this is like a fake smile to me, regardless of what you're seeing and what your counterpart is portraying, what they're really feeling, again, is another heart chakra card here with a green border. They're really feeling the memories of love for you. They're really, this is like a 6 of Cups energy. So they're really feeling, they're really missing holding you and feeling you and being with you. So that's what I'm gathering from this card, is really the experience of being together. And so don't worry about what it looks like on the outside, or if it looks like a perfect family, if you're seeing things on social media. Those are just, that's just what they really want is you. And this is what they're showing you here. What I really want is my counterpart. That's what I'm really craving. That's what's really missing in my life. So I hope that was beneficial for you guys. I hope that was insightful, inspiring in some way for you guys to make a change on this journey. Please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And again, if you'd like a personal reading, healing, or a coaching session, please reach out to me at the email below. Have a beautiful day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.